Heart attacks don't begin with chest pain. They begin with calcium, slowly, silently building up in your arteries for years. But there's one overlooked vitamin that can sweep it away before it becomes deadly. I'm a heart specialist, and this tiny nutrient could literally add 10 years to your cardiovascular life. Let me show you what most doctors forget to tell their senior patients. After 60, the real danger isn't cholesterol. It's where that cholesterol goes. And more importantly, where calcium starts to pile up. Most seniors take calcium and vitamin D, but very few are told about the third piece that makes it safe, vitamin K2. In this video, I'll walk you through the science, the healing protocol, and the subtle signs your heart might already be asking for help. 1. The calcium trap. Why arteries harden with age. Your body was designed to protect your bones, but past the age of 60, it sometimes forgets where to send the calcium. See, calcium is vital. It builds strength. It stabilizes. It keeps your muscles and heartbeat functioning. But as we get older, especially when we start taking calcium supplements or vitamin D alone, something strange begins to happen. Instead of going to our bones, calcium starts settling inside our arteries, quietly, gradually, relentlessly. It's called vascular calcification, and for millions of seniors, it's the real hidden cause behind heart attacks, not cholesterol alone. In fact, in a study published by the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, researchers found that arterial calcification is a better predictor of heart events than LDL levels, especially in adults over 65. Imagine this. Your arteries are soft, flexible tubes. But as calcium builds up, they begin to stiffen, like concrete hardening inside a garden hose. Over time, blood has to push harder through these narrow, less flexible passages. That's when blood pressure rises. That's when silent damage begins. And here's the twist. It often starts in people who believe they were doing the right thing, taking calcium for their bones, vitamin D for absorption, but missing the one vitamin that guides calcium away from arteries and into bones where it belongs. That's where the real risk lies. Because you can feel fine. Your cholesterol may even look normal, but if your arteries are slowly hardening from the inside, your heart is under quiet stress every single day. So, the question isn't, are you getting enough calcium? The real question is your body sending it to the right place? 2. The forgotten key. What vitamin K2 really does. Imagine calcium like little travelers in your bloodstream. They don't know where to go until someone hands them a map. Vitamin D opens the door, letting more calcium into your blood. But it's vitamin K2 that tells them where to settle, and that difference matters. Because without direction, calcium may end up in places it shouldn't, like the walls of your arteries. Over time, it sticks, hardens, and builds up into dangerous blockages. But with K2, your body activates a protein called matrix Gley protein, MGP, a kind of traffic controller that stops calcium from gluing itself to artery walls. The science isn't new, but it's still widely ignored. The Rotterdam Study, 2004, tracked over 4,800 people aged 55 and older. Those who consumed the highest levels of vitamin K2 had 50% less arterial calcification and were 57% less likely to die from heart disease. That's not a supplement gimmick. That's a biological correction. K2 doesn't just protect your arteries. It guides calcium back to your bones, where it strengthens you. It keeps your heart light and your skeleton strong. The problem? Most multivitamins don't include it. Most doctors don't mention it. And most seniors take vitamin D without ever knowing they need K2 by its side. Have you ever taken vitamin D but never heard of K2? You're not alone. Nearly 80% of older adults don't even know it exists. Vitamin K2 isn't new, it's just been forgotten. But your heart hasn't forgotten the stress it's been carrying. Maybe this is the missing signal it's been waiting for. 3. Vitamin D alone can be dangerous. For decades, the seniors have been told to take your vitamin D. And it's true, vitamin D helps you absorb calcium more efficiently. But here's what most people never hear. Vitamin D without vitamin K2 can quietly hurt your heart. Let's break this down. When you take vitamin D, your body absorbs more calcium from your food and supplements. That's great, until your bloodstream is flooded with calcium but has no guidance on where to send it. Without K2, your body lacks the internal GPS to direct calcium safely into bones. So instead, calcium floats and finds its way into soft tissues, like the lining of your arteries. This condition, called hypercalcemia, may not cause immediate symptoms, but slowly it thickens and hardens blood vessels, raising blood pressure and increasing the risk of heart attacks or strokes. Think of it like opening all the doors in your house to let guests in, but forgetting to tell them where to sit. Suddenly, they're wandering into the attic, the bathroom, the closet, places they were never meant to be. That's exactly what calcium does without direction. In 2010, Dr. Leon Schergers, a cardiovascular researcher from Maastricht University, published a study showing that vitamin D supplementation without adequate K2 increased arterial stiffness in both mice and human trials. Even more striking, those on high-dose D alone had measurable calcium deposits in their arteries after just a few weeks. This doesn't mean you should stop taking vitamin D. It means you need to complete the circuit. Because healing doesn't come from one vitamin, it comes from balance. And when your heart is involved, that balance can be the difference between slow damage and silent protection. 4. Best foods and dosage protocol for seniors. Sometimes the best medicine isn't medicine at all. It's a quiet bite of food, taken at the right time with the right purpose. Vitamin K2 doesn't need to come in a bottle. In fact, some of the richest sources of this heart-healing vitamin come from foods that have existed for centuries. At the top of the list is natto, a traditional Japanese fermented soybean dish. It's sticky, strong-smelling, and admittedly not everyone's favorite. But just one small serving of natto can contain over 1,000 micrograms of K2 in the MK7 form, the exact type that stays in your blood long enough to redirect calcium effectively. If natto isn't for you, there are gentler options. Fermented cheeses like Gouda and Brie and egg yolks from pasture-raised hens also contain modest levels of K2. They may not offer the same potency, but they can still contribute to your daily baseline, especially when eaten consistently. For many seniors, though, a supplement may be the most practical choice. Look for vitamin K2 in the MK7 form, which is better absorbed and stays active longer than MK4. The ideal dosage? Between 100 to 200 micrograms per day, taken with your largest meal, preferably alongside healthy fats like olive oil or avocado to support absorption. But one important caution. If you're on blood thinners, especially warfarin, talk to your doctor first. K2 plays a role in blood clot regulation, and introducing it suddenly can affect your medication balance. This isn't about switching everything overnight. It's about layering one supportive habit into your life until it becomes second nature. Because healing the heart doesn't require force. Sometimes it just needs a little redirection and a little nourishment given with care. 5. Tracking progress. How to know if it's working. Healing. The heart is quiet work. You won't wake up one morning and feel your arteries cleared, but with time, the signs begin to whisper. First, let's talk about the tools that cardiologists use, not to scare you, but to empower you. The most reliable marker is called the CAC score, short for coronary artery calcium. It's a special CT scan that measures how much calcium is lodged inside your arteries. Think of it like a plaque map of your heart. And what's powerful is this. With consistent K2 intake and the right habits, your score may stabilize, or even drop over time. That's not just theory. In several case studies, older adults showed measurable reductions in CAC scores after 1 to 2 years on MK7 supplements. Another subtle tool is pulse wave velocity, a non-invasive way to track the stiffness of your arteries. Softer, more flexible arteries mean lower stress on your heart, and some patients notice early benefits without machines at all. They say things like, "My legs don't cramp like they used to. My blood pressure's a little lower in the morning. I feel less winded going up the stairs." These are not coincidences. They're signs that your body is listening, adapting, reopening flow where it was once stuck. Your arteries are not rigid pipes. They're living tissues, responsive and capable of change. And while the process may be slow, it's real. So don't look for miracles. Look for momentum. Small shifts, stacked over time, become powerful patterns of protection. Your heart has been working for you, faithfully, quietly, for over 60 years. It's carried your memories, your fears, your love. And now you have a chance to carry it back. Not with another pill, but with understanding, with the simple act of helping calcium find its rightful home. Vitamin K2 isn't a trend. It's a signal, a biological nudge to let your body heal. Not overnight, but over time. Because arteries are not fixed in stone. They are alive, responsive, and waiting for your care.